Hello everyone and welcome to the Apex Online Racing Elite GT3 League here on PC. We're with PCars2, of course, that's where the championship's been held. And I just thought I'd show you this. So as you may have just seen, I was up on my qualifying time as we come to the end of the Long Beach circuit. That's where we're racing. Just coming to this left-hander, Tidgney stays to the left-hand side and I have no idea why he stays there. You can see faster cars coming up on their lap. As you see on the map, you can see somebody actually went to the right. That's how you do it. You don't stay to the left. So not sure what happened there, and at that point I was literally struggling. So that last lap that I do next, I had to save fuel on and I still improved again, so you know my overlap would have been really quick. Even so, we qualify in 5th position as we go into the end of the warm-up lap. Remember, it's a manual warm-up lap, so we've got to warm our tyres up ourselves. One thing I didn't get with this start compared to the others is we're meant to have lined up here. Now we're meant to do single file lineup, but it's 50 miles an hour. However, you can see the guys ahead are accelerating away. I wasn't sure what to do here. Am I meant to stay 50 miles an hour or keep up with the car in front? Because the rules say stay at 50 miles an hour. That's the limit. So, you know, I stay around that pace. As I come around this last corner, everyone speeds up again. So I think, right, I better speed up here. Let's get to where the pack is. And then we can begin the race. So the actual acceleration point, I think we just started the start of it where you can start, and then it's meant to be at the line, but we still didn't accelerate, so I was very confused at this point. So instantly I get ready to go. I hit the throttle straight away, but as always with this, the Ferrari on start is bonkos, especially because I'm on default setup as well, which doesn't really help. So Leon gets a good move up the inside, so I'm slotting in behind. Alexis goes for some crazy weird cheeky move there. Just hits me there but doesn't cause any damage to me, so I think fair enough, I'll continue racing all the same as we come around this right hander. Now the one thing I found with Long Beach and the default setup is way too hard for this circuit. You can probably tell already the amount that it's bouncing around. I really could have done with softening the suspension. Again, people were running lower downforce. I'm obviously running 2 and 6, so I was struggling a little bit on the straights. So yeah, you know, I am going to struggle with default setup. That's just the way it is. But we'll see what we could do in the race all the same. As you can see, further back, we've got a little bit of a gap now to the ones behind. We've lost the front 5 guys completely straight away. And I guess that's because I can't warm my tyres up as well as them for some reason. I'm not sure what they're doing. Maybe I need to have a nosy at some of their streams to find out what they're doing. But even so, we've come to the end of the first lap now. No big action there for me apart from the Leon and Alexis thing at start as we come to the end of the lap. So we're going to merge a bit further on in the race straight away because it's the highlights, of course, of this race. So we advance a couple laps later, and as you can see, there's somebody coming out of the pits, and I think that's Colonel McCoy. It is indeed. I wasn't sure where he was going at this point, whether he'd let me go or not, but obviously there's a big train of cars behind me, so he decided to go ahead of me initially. So I've got to be careful here, of course, because of dirty air. The Audi R8 likes to understeer a lot more with dirty air, so I've got to be very careful. But as does the Ferrari as well, to be fair, it does understeer. Colonel McCoy goes to the right hand side, lets me go. I think he lets the cars behind go as well, so fair enough there. Obviously had an incident earlier on in the race, Long Beach. Have an accident, you're going in a barrier. So we continue on all the same, and we're still in 6th position, and that's where we want to keep, really. Try and maintain a good position in this race as best as we can. As we advance 1 lap further ahead, with a little sneaky merge there that I did. Hopefully you didn't spot that one. But even so, we continue racing. Alexis still behind me. We've got a bigger gap now to Stalrich, who's up ahead. As we continue on into this right-hander. And we just lose the rear end. Only just lose it, but we lose it all the same. So at this point, I know I'm going to be under all sorts of pressure from Alexis, so I'm going to go to the left. I'll let him have the right hand side. That gives me the inside for this first corner, and once he's on my side, I can sort of judge where he is on track. Then I come over a little bit. Look at that room, actually giving a bit too much room there, but he gives, well, he tries to go for a little bit of a cut back, but it gives me enough room to continue on. So single file through here, very tight through the left, and again into this right. Got to be careful of the bumps, especially with this default setup. Oh, it's so bumpy. But we continue on, and now he's under all sorts of pressure from 2 Desert Pack behind in another R8. So I can breathe a little easier. But if you look in the rear view mirror, Alexis loses the rear end just going around that corner and loses the car basically. So 2 Desert Pack goes up to 7th position, and Alexis dropping down the field. Advance a little bit further on now, and 2 Desert Pack is behind me. And are we coming to anybody? Nope. Starrich still ahead, and Leon, Popsu's up there, Jardier in second, and Fab Iceman leading the way currently. So you can just see 2 Desert Pack getting closer and closer. Basically what was happening, if you look at my lap times on the left hand side, you can see I was in 1:18s, 6:69, and then I'm in 19:2s. And I don't know what was happening with the car. It was like it was going hot and cold throughout this race. So sometimes I could get fast laps, sometimes I get slow laps. So again, a 1:19.2. I wasn't really changing my driving, but the car went good, bad constantly. It was very weird. So coming into this first corner, we're just going to lose the rear completely. Just trying to catch it here. You can see the throttle management there, trying to catch it. I let 2 Desert Pack go at that point because obviously I was losing it a little bit. It'd been a bit tight to try and fight for that position, and I'd rather try and get a clean race, get this 6th position rather than lose it. Oh, by the way, if you didn't realise I went up there, is Leon sort of crashed, but sort of it was really weird, so that's why Leon isn't there anymore, and why the positions have changed. So 6th position, we're still where we are. Yeah, the Leon thing was a bit weird. But even so, we're racing. We're still in 6th position. We've only lost 1 position in the grand scheme of it all, as we now come up to another back marker, which is Scaro Zal. Zal not having a good race at all. Lets everybody go in a similar place to where Kurt and McCoy let us go. Again, this is a highlight, so we're already up to lap 21. You can tell there's not been a busy race. What's happened is 2 Desert Packs managed to get ahead a little bit here. But if you look at my lap times now, down in the 1:18s again, I'm actually on a charge, and I'm about to start catching him up again. Mark Bowensi has been catching me as well, by the way, which has been very interesting. But we're pushing on. Oblito there on the right hand side. I wasn't sure where he was going to go, so I try and dive down the inside as best as I can. He lets me go, which is very nice of him, and into this single file section of the circuit. I do like Long Beach. I don't know if you remember, ages and ages ago, one of my first Project Cars 2 videos was here at Long Beach. It was actually in a Ferrari as well, believe it or not. But here we are in the R8. So up ahead, Oblito just crashes into the barrier there, and then unfortunately leaves the session. Obviously the car must have been permanently damaged because you're not meant to leave the session. But we're still catching 2 Desert Pack, so we're under 2 seconds now. It was over 2 seconds at one point. In fact, it may have been up near 4. But we've been catching slowly but surely. You see the 1:18s have been coming in. Again, I'm not sure why there was a difference. Advancing a bit further on, you can see we've he's maintained that gap. It's been very hard to try and catch up. We got a 1:19.1 last lap. Again, weird stuff. Look, we got 1:19.1 again. What the hell? We've gone to bad again. Why has that happened? Not sure. Something to do with temperatures somewhere. Just up ahead, who's that? That's Zal, just going off into the runoff area there. Just letting us go as we advance further on now. Again, look how close we are now to 2 Desert Pack. And look, we've got in a 1:18.6 and we had a 1:19.1, but I think that might have been a bad lap. Just not actually the car going good to bad at that point. But you can see we're catching another back marker. I think who's this? Let's have a look. Ragor. Sorry for pronouncing your name wrong if you're watching. In the Nissan GTR. That's one thing I like about this championship, by the way. The variety of cars we've got racing at the moment. Yes, it's a Ferrari dominated one because the Ferrari is probably still the strongest car, but this is before the patch. I know there's been a patch, and it probably is still just about the strongest car. But even so, you can just see he moves to the right hand side. But looking up ahead, there's an accident between 2 Desert Pack and Ragor. So what actually happened, he explained in the general discussion afterwards on the forum, is he was looking at where I was and didn't realise the corner was coming up, and there was just a clash. It was really unfortunate. A bit later on in the race, you can see Leon is a lap down. So at this point, I'm just going to let Leon go because I don't want to fight. I've got a massive gap to Mark Bowensi. I can just let Leon go. So I just stayed to the left, trying to indicate that as best as I can by just letting off rather than braking. Through Leon goes. So Leon can now push ahead if he wants to overtake more people. So he's got Alexis and Tex Wheeler further ahead if he wants to make some moves. So lap 43. It's a really quick one this. We've gone through a lot already. It's mostly just overtaking lapped cars as we come to Tex Wheeler in a Porsche, which doesn't look much like a Porsche anymore. That left hand side being absolutely battered as we come through this single line of section of track. And yeah, that whole left-hand side has been absolutely demolished. As I say, the main thing I was struggling here was the bumps. You can see it there. The car just bumps and bounces all over the place. So definitely a softer setup needed at this circuit, which is expected. It happens at all street circuits. In all forms of racing, they go for the softer setups. Because of the bumps. Obviously that means the tyre can stay in contact more and it's less harsh, the weight's not bouncing around. Just see Tex with bounce off the barrier. You can see how that car's become so disformed. Lets me through and I continue racing. Mark Pointy's been catching me a little bit as well throughout this race, but I'm not too worried because there's not that many laps to go. As we advance to the final lap and the end of the final lap, Mark Pointy actually disconnected, and we've got such a gap that it was just nice and chilled towards the end of the race. So I hope you enjoyed that little highlights video. Now the race, because this is going to go live on Wednesday, the race is happening tonight, so make sure you tune in to watch at Zolder. There's a weather transition and all sorts happening there, or I believe so, so do tune in. My logo's there if you want to subscribe. I've got a video playlist there of other races if you want to watch those. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.